Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Global Speedrun Association. I hope you guys are having a marvelous Monday so far, wherever you are, whenever you are. We have an exciting day ahead of us. Lots of speedrun action coming your way. We're going to start the day off with some Super Mario Odyssey runs for this round 2 of the Any Percent tournament. Follow it up with lots of Super Mario 64 matches coming your way. Should be a very exciting day if you are a Mario fan. But starting us off today, we have a round 2 matchup in the winner's bracket between Stravos and allnewluke. They have both moved on from their first round matches, so they will be facing off here. The winner of this match going on to face Dansta2106. Should be an exciting match ahead of us. Joining me on commentary today is Yo-Yo Swift. Yo-Yo, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good today. How about you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. Now, these runners, Stravos, of course, kind of building himself a bit of a reputation in GSA competitions. He has won himself a tournament. He has the best track record as far as I can see, as far as these tournaments are concerned. He has kind of the best win-loss ratio. Very strong competitor versus allnewluke, who has participated in a world peace tournament with GSA, as well as this one here. So should be an interesting matchup. A little bit of a advantage, I would say, in Stravos's field. He's just got the better experience, I would say. But the opportunity for an upset is definitely present. allnewluke switching to 1.0 recently and has been practicing a lot of the exclusive tricks. So if he's able to remain consistent, you never know what you might see here.
Yeah. And here these runners are getting started off.
Yep, the green light has gone, the gates are open, and here we go into Cap Kingdom. Looks like allnewluke. Now, this is an interesting thing that you might not know about, but if you're playing on the physical copy of this game, whenever you load up a save file, the very first one of the day will typically take you 2 seconds extra. I don't know why this works. I think the game just needs a little moment to wake up or something along those lines, but it does look like allnewluke forgot to reload a save file, so he will actually be taking a 2-second penalty, essentially, as we come out of the gate. That's why you see him behind here. Otherwise, they had basically the same start. So Stravos, the first one to grab this frog here, he's going to be executing these vectors. allnewluke about 2 seconds behind.
Very solid frog room by Stravos.
Yep, allnewluke having a little bit of trouble getting up the blocks here. Now he's in the door. Stravos doing the up throw, making left side look easy, and into the topper fight. And Quick Topper finished him off very nicely, looking like a 221 from Stravos. Extremely well done for him. allnewluke trying to go for the fast hopper, accidentally missing just a little bit there, but still making the fight come off rather fast. So we have already, just in Cap Kingdom, about a 12-second difference here.
Yeah.
Kitten's been very excited about this upcoming match. Also, this round and many others like it, as well as the other tournaments, brought to you by Vi.gg. If you'd like to place bets on your favorite runners, make sure that you do so by typing !bet or by going and clicking the banner underneath the stream. Of course, you must be of legal gambling age, and it must be legal to gamble in your country to participate. But a good way to support the runners, as well as potentially win some cash yourself.
Yeah. And here we see both these runners going for wet FMS, where they're going to skip the first moon, which is going to skip a few cutscenes to save about 25 to 30 seconds overall.
Yes, that's right. 1.0 exclusive trick. Basically skipping over an invisible wall and going directly to this boss fight. It's a little bit of a sequence break that doesn't exist in the patched versions of the game.
Yeah.
But saves about 35 seconds if done optimally. Oh no, all new Luke getting what we've very, very affectionately called as the heck you spot. You as you try and approach this loading zone here, there is one part on the wall that you can bonk into and not activate the cutscene. So falling all the way down there and having
Yeah.
to make his way back up. So unfortunate time loss for Luke there.
Yeah. And also taking some damage during this fight. Meanwhile, Stravos grabbing the multi-moon, and then he's just gonna have to grab 2 quick moons, and then he will be leaving.
All new Luke over here having a little bit of trouble with the Madame Brutal fight, having to chase the Golden Chain Chomp around a little bit. But he has finished off the fight as well, and he's going to be moving on. So we're going to see Stravos do a triple jump up the cliff here, grab this moon, and then grab one more moon underneath the waterfall basin. He's going to be using this chest to activate a moon clip. Very quick execution there. Looks like he did clip up into the ceiling. Yes, he did. So he's going to be diving to the globe, finishing Cascade Kingdom very, very quickly. All new Luke just finishing up his cutscenes, and he will be following suit.
So Stravos is a little bit ahead, but still very early in the game, so anything can definitely happen. I'll be right back. I have to go do something real quick.
Sure. All right, all new Luke approaching the chest. We will see if he goes for any sort of chest clip ideas. Actually, just bonking directly into the chest. Not going to be able to set himself up in time, so he will have to just jump out of the waterfall basin, kind of the normal and intended way. And Stravos is in the Odyssey now, looking to go to Sand Kingdom. Got the fast action guide skip there.
Hello.
Good day, welcome back.
So Stravos entering Sand Kingdom now.
Yes, and this has been recently one of my favorite kingdoms to run. There's kind of a few tricks that exist in this kingdom that are not necessarily easy, but very satisfying to kind of string together. But also, like, this kingdom used to be a lot scarier because it was one of the more technical kingdoms, and now it's kind of just like one of a bunch. So doing Dram Strat is kind of in everybody's repertoire nowadays.
Yeah.
And if you're on 1.2, usually you catch the bird right here where Stravos is rolling by. That can save you a little bit of time, considering the Sphinx room is really slow without the clip. Of course, both of these runners on 1.0, so we will be probably seeing a Sphinx clip from both.
Yeah. All new Luke also now entering Sand. Probably about a minute and a half, possibly, behind Stravos.
It's looking like that already. The gap is rather wide so far. Now Stravos setting up for Ice Dram, using this ice pillar and doing a spin throw off of it. Doesn't look like he was able to get the height, though.
Yeah. But that is kind of a newer way to do Dram that has been kind of recently discovered and now being implemented.
Yeah, it's a slightly more optimized version, saves about half of a second, but much harder to set up because the timing for your up throw is considerably tighter. So not something that a lot of runners are really opting to go for nowadays. Stravos, being a very risky, I would say, competitor, likes to go for some of the harder tricks. So it doesn't surprise me that he has taken a gamble there. Still has a commanding lead, though. Now all new Luke approaching the Dram Strat as Stravos lines himself up for the Sphinx clip. Gets in immediately.
And all new Luke getting Dram. Having a little bit of a bonk on the crate, but still kind of okay. Stravos also going for double clip. Gets the double clip on his second try, so pretty good Sphinx clip for him.
Yes, shouldn't bother him at all for the upcoming bird cycle. Of course, the scary thing about doing double clip is that you have the potential of missing the bird in the oasis later on. So Stravos taking a risk there, not losing much time over it at all. And the rest of Sand Kingdom for Stravos is not much of a difficult thing. He's just got to make sure that he's got this Jaxie skip here, landing the bullet build nicely. Only Luke now approaching the Sphinx clip.
Yeah. Getting it first try.
Very nice. And he's opting for the double clip as well. I actually, again, a very risky option, because if he has some trouble with this clip now, he might miss the bird cycle later and will be forced to find an alternative. Ooh, but he gets it perfectly.
Yeah. Got both first try Sphinx clips. Very good. Stravos getting his last couple of moons, and then he will be finishing off Sand.
Yes, indeed. Going for this Notes Moon, setting it up a little bit messy, I would say, but he's okay. He's got his spin throws going, and he has captured all of the notes, so he's going to grab the moon and then be rolling his way through the desert. allnewluke notably grabbed the Crate Moon over by the Dram strat, so he will actually not need to get the Notes Moon after going into the Sphinx room.
Stravos now leaving Sand and heading to Lake Kingdom, and allnewluke just needs 3 more moons, and then he as well, so still a bit behind, but definitely, as we said, can still take the lead by a lot, because we're only 10 minutes in still.
Yes, lots of race still to happen here.
And we're going to see if Stravos is going to be going for Lake Clip.
He is one of the few competitors in this competition who have bravely decided to attempt it, so we might see it again here. He has already proven himself to use it in things like bingo, so we could definitely see an attempt at it here.
Yeah. So allnewluke also now leaving Sand Kingdom. Stravos is getting his first few moons in Lake, and he is approaching Lake Clip right after this moon.
And notably didn't do any camera manipulation as he climbed the cliff, which to me signals he's going to be trying to go for this lake clip. Actually not. He's just opting to go for the safe route today. Not a terrible decision. You know, you can spend a lot of time trying to set that clip up and lose some valuable time. Luke right on his heels now, entering Lake Kingdom. If Stravos were to try and go for any lake clip ideas, he might be stuck there and end up letting Luke catch up a little bit. So opting for the safe strategy, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Making quick work of Lake Kingdom anyways. He's got the last moon he needs before he fights Rango. allnewluke setting himself up to go through Lake Kingdom himself here now.
Yeah, Lake Kingdom is definitely one of the easier kingdoms. Kind of a bit of a break.
Yeah, with the exception of the lake clip, of course.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot you can do to kind of maximize your time save in Lake Kingdom, aside from, like I mentioned, the camera manipulation to adjust where the cheeps kind of cross across this moon that Luke is grabbing here. But aside from that, pretty straightforward. Just a bit of fish movement, nothing really to get in your way to make you bonk or anything like that. Nothing to really complicate Lake Kingdom at all.
Stravos back at the Odyssey, and then he'll be leaving Lake and heading off to Wooded. Wooded being one of the harder kingdoms. We do have Moon Clip and some other tricky movement, and definitely a bit scary because you can easily fall in deep woods. Yeah,
Yes. from the out of bounds movement, you can certainly.
Yeah, and we have seen some runners already in this tournament fall into deep woods.
Luke taking a bonk, trying to get up to the Rango platform, backs it up very nicely with a cap return jump to get up to the flower pad, and he is finished with the fight himself. Now, you are right about Wooded Kingdom. Very scary place. We've already seen a couple of kind of disaster situations in Wooded Kingdom in this tournament already. A couple deep woods dives in the first round, a couple of out of bounds movements that have led to people falling back inbounds and having to resort to kind of the older route that we had ages ago. So, you know, anything can happen here. Missing the out of bounds movement loses like 20 seconds approximately. So, you know, if Stravos were to fumble on that for any reason, then Luke would be right back in this.
All new Luke now leaving Lake Kingdom. Meanwhile, Stravos getting very close to Moon Clip, where we're going to use a nut moon to basically clip through the wall and get 2 moons that we usually wouldn't be able to get.
Yeah, these moons not usually being accessible to the common player by any other means.
Stravos did get the clip, so now we're going to be going in this tiny hole in the wall, and then getting this moon and staying out of bounds and getting all the way up, which Stravos did do. Then getting up here, messing that up a bit.
Yeah, this ramp movement can be particularly tricky. Doesn't like to keep your momentum unless you continue jumping. It's a very strange thing to get used to. Obviously, the game doesn't really want you to run all the way up the ramp. So Stravos having a little bit of kind of spaghetti with getting up to this nut on a tall fence. Still a commanding lead. Nothing catastrophic happened. He's definitely still alive, still not in the deep woods or anything quite like that. So still looking pretty fresh. All new Luke buying his shot moon. He's going to be approaching the nut clip himself now here.
Mm-hmm.
Setup looks good. Usually you can tell by the kind of upswing, but actually not making it through the wall. So again, this here, an unfortunate situation. We'll see if All New Luke knows about the rock clip backup and see if he goes for it. It does look like he is going to set himself up for that. So this trick in particular does exist in all versions of the game, but it being a roll cancel clip is extremely difficult to pull off on 1.2 and apparently also on 1.0. So Luke actually just opting to go for the older route here. And again, this is what we were talking about earlier. Very costly mistake to happen here. Nothing he can really do except for go for the older route and take the 20-second penalty.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Stravos is doing Flower Road skip, which skips activating the Flower Road, saving a few seconds.
Yes, the time save is a lot less than you might expect with such a flashy trick. You take a very costly kind of jump across the gap there. And missing it, of course, is a death and probably about a 15-second time loss. But Stravos making it look easy on his way up the tower now.
And Stravos will probably be skipping Spirit because with this new moon clip route, it is actually a bit faster to skip Spirit and go get some extra moons that are down, messing up that jump, but still getting down here. So he's going to be getting the nut around the corner moon, and then going into flooded pipes. And then that will be Wooded Kingdom. All New Luke approaching this Piranha Plant Story Moon. He did get that triple jump off the poison.
Executing the poison hacks very nicely. So already seen All New Luke do this room. This room was originally taken out of the any percent route when Nut Clip was discovered, but then we found a way to skip doing the Spirit fight entirely and then added it back in. So saving about 5 seconds by not fighting the boss. Let's see if he makes this very scary jump in the last portion here. Gets it very nicely, not taking any damage at all. Pretty solid Wooded Kingdom in general here.
Yeah, definitely
Coming
gonna
in.
put Stravos even more in the lead, while allnewluke still needs to get a couple more moons and also fight Spirit and watch all those cutscene afterwards. So Stravos definitely quite a bit ahead.
Certainly. Stravos coming in under 19 minutes in Wooded Kingdom. Very solid exit time indeed. Allnewluke grabbing this nut on a crumbling tower. Going to be making his way into the tower now.
Stravos now heading off to Cloud Kingdom, where we're going to have a little Bowser fight. Allnewluke missing this moon, but can easily re-get it with the uproot, and then he'll be fighting Spirit, because he won't be able to skip Spirit, because he already did Flooded Pipe, so he would only be able to get that one other moon. Stravos, though, fighting Bowser, doing some fast strats by stealing Bowser's hat right as he hits it. And also jumping around to the other side so that Bowser can get flung more across to the other side, and then you will only have to jump one circle, which once again saves some more time. Lots of small kind of optimizations in this kingdom.
Yes, that is right. Looking to save just a little bit of time. There's a couple things you can do in this fight to speed it up a little bit, but otherwise not entirely difficult to execute. One of the very first kind of quick strategies, quote unquote, that I learned when I started speedrunning this game was this fight in particular. Not entirely difficult to kind of pick up on how it works, and of course, it looks pretty stylish as well. So
Yeah.
definitely something I recommend trying when you are first starting out the game is to try and go for this fast Bowser fight. Will
Yeah.
save you considerable amounts of time and looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, Stravos
Stravos,
actually getting a rainbow spin off of the
yeah.
meme tree there. Gonna have to back this up by doing a triple jump off the tree.
Still very fast though. Allnewluke leaving Wooded. He will be heading off to Cloud, so they're pretty much just a Bowser fight away.
Yep. Still got lots of time. Still anything can happen here. Stravos going for the very slick roll cancel off of the top there. Very risky strategy. Sometimes your roll cancel doesn't always go in the direction you want it to. So showing a little bit of flair, as is kind of Stravos' style.
This kingdom definitely being one of the scarier kingdoms, as there's poison pretty much everywhere, and one small move can lead to a death, which could lose you some time.
Yes, this kingdom doesn't bother to pick up any checkpoints, so if at any point you fall into this instant death poison, it does kind of spell the end for you, and you have to go back to the Odyssey, which, depending on where you are in the kingdom, like, for example, if Stravos was right here and happened to take a death, that would be probably 30 seconds worth of time save trying to get back all the way here, so a very risky kingdom to kind of maneuver around, making it look easy, though. Got just one more moon to get underneath the bridge. He's going to be kind of making a cap dive out from underneath and then on top and then rolling back towards the Odyssey. Aside from the triple jump shenanigans at the beginning with the meme tree, very solid Lost Kingdom.
Yeah. And Stravos will now be heading off to Metro, while allnewluke going into Lost. So probably about a 2-minute time difference.
Sounds about right to me. And now Metro Kingdom. This one, I feel like I say it all the time. Probably one of my favorite kingdoms to speedrun. Just doesn't really have very many huge death opportunities or big time losses, but one of the kingdoms that kind of time loss accumulates over time. You can lose 1 second here, 2 seconds there. The entire kingdom is basically just little optimizations, and it's just extremely fun to kind of bounce around the city.
Yeah. So Stravos going to do this jump on the girder to skip a whole section, get on top of the rooftops, and triple jump up to grab this moon.
allnewluke having a little bit of difficulty here, trying to grab this tree moon. Is able to back it up without falling in the poison. Looked like he took a bonk there, which could have been catastrophic, but he is keeping his pace all right. Stravos making his way up the buildings here and into City Hall. Now, taking a fall in City Hall is probably one of the few places that huge time loss can happen in Metro Kingdom.
Yeah. Especially that long jump at the end, if you mess it up, it can definitely lose you a lot of time.
allnewluke taking a death there. I wasn't sure if he was able to grab the moon that he needed. I don't think so. We're going to see him have to roll back. Did he get the cage? He actually didn't even get the cage open, so he's going to have to be backing this up somehow. We might see him try to go for the cage break again. Probably going to activate Klepto just to be safe. Yes, as it appears. And he's just going to go for the stone cage here just to back it up safely.
Yeah. And the thing you have to remember at Klepto is whenever you warp or die, his trigger does get reset, so you do have to re-trigger him.
Yes, that is correct. It can be kind of a fatal mistake if you die. You're already losing time. You forget to trigger Klepto, and then all of a sudden he comes and steals your cap, and you're more than 30 seconds behind now. All of a sudden, you're like a full minute.
Yeah.
So good thinking on Luke's part to make that trigger happen. He is finally going to be leaving the Lost Kingdom now. Stravos in the middle of the Mecha Wiggler fight, approaching the second phase. Second phase, of course, being the most kind of random and kind of risky. Depending on what pattern he gets, we might see a 3 cycle here. Hopefully he's able to finish the boss off cleanly. Getting a bit of a weird pattern. The orbs kind of crossing over each other in a weird way, but not having much difficulty at all. Moving on to the Day Metro portion.
Yeah. Meanwhile, allnewluke moving on to Night Metro. Stravos always being one little section ahead. But, yeah.
Stravos' lead extending a little bit more here as we go into Day Metro. And this is where kind of the bouncing around the city and all the fun stuff starts to happen. We're going to see the scoot clip come up right away, or preceding a quick little metro dram, if you will, out of the girder, as well as some kind of nice building hopping following that. So all right, rolling up to this pylon, throwing his cap over top of it, and then grabbing this moon. And while he's doing this, Cappy hovering over that pylon so that he can zip right back. Very fancy little capture warp strategy. Now scooter clip on the drive-by, gets it into the cage just like that. And now he's going to be scooting over here onto the roof to get a moon underneath some garbage here. And another Metro Dram here.
Yeah.
Gets that off too and beats the taxi. Usually there is a taxi that kind of circles this building that Mario is sitting in front of here. If you do all of that fast enough, you can kind of beat the taxi in a way that you can get to this pylon without it being in the way. Very tight cycle on that though, so you have to be within like 1 or 2 seconds of optimal in order to make the taxi be out of your way. Either that or slow, I suppose, but of course you want to try and beat the cycle. Stravos not having any difficulty doing that. And he's just zipping his way through the kingdom here. Very good looking Metro Kingdom from him so far. allnewluke finishing off the first phase of this Mecha Wiggler fight. Hopefully he gets himself a nice pattern and can continue on to Day Metro as well. All right, Wiggler coming out of the wall here. Gonna see him set up. shooting the orbs just to get them out of the way. This is looking like a very promising cycle.
Yeah.
Extremely solid.
Very good Mecha Wiggler fight.
Yep, and just like that, he's in Day Metro as well. Now, Stravos has collected a couple of musicians, got their moons, and he is just going to be doing some building hopping before heading off to the next kingdom himself. Doing a spin pound roll cancel, getting the triple jump off nicely. Approaching this rubbish moon. How did they take out the trash? Then diving below, gathering this swaying in the breeze moon. You can actually see this moon in Night Metro on your way by, but because it's right in the way of our route currently, there's no reason to grab it during the night portion. We can just get it during the day.
Stravos only needing a couple more moons, and then he'll be leaving Metro. allnewluke now starting off Day Metro, and we're going to be seeing Scooter clip by him.
Yes, rolling up to the scooter now. Actually just opting to skip it. All right. Solid safety strats here from allnewluke. Typically not the fastest because it does require a capture animation as well as good scooter movement, which is not always easy.
Yeah.
But did get it rather fast.
He did have a little bonk incident as well, capturing the pylon before getting the moon.
One of the most triggering things for me. I do not enjoy getting the capture warp before grabbing that moon. Not at the hugest time loss, but definitely a triggering moment.
Yeah.
And just like that, Stravos is on his way. Now, I didn't check his coin count, so I wasn't entirely sure if Stravos had the coins he required to get the shot moon in snow. Usually getting into the Sphinx room is enough to kind of cover you by the time you get there.
Yeah.
But we'll see which choice he makes here. Okay, going to Snow Kingdom, he's probably set himself up nicely. Not going to have to worry about that at all.
allnewluke climbing up this tower, and he did not do early musicians.
Yes, indeed. So opting for slightly slower, less optimal route in favor of just making a little bit safer of a route here. But on his way through, yep, Stravos does indeed have enough coins to make the shot moon happen. Just a quick shout out here to our sponsor, Vi.gg. If you are looking to place some bets on some runners in this tournament or any of the others going on with the GSA right now, you can do so by typing, !bet in the chat or by clicking the banner underneath the stream feed. You must, of course, be of legal gambling age, and it must be legal in your country to do so. But a nice way to support your runners, kind of egg them on, cheer them on, and, you know, maybe win something for yourself.
Yeah. So Stravos skipping the shot moon, which pretty much signals that he is going to be going for Sinodram at the end of the kingdom.
Yeah, pretty typical move from a lot of the very top runners in this category. All right, Stravos setting himself up actually for the wall clip here. Looks like he got it. Taking a ground pound boost into the loading zone here. Very, very stylish. This is something I have only seen from maybe Acrid. Acrid having one of the best Snow Kingdoms in the game as of late. Didn't participate in this tournament, but Stravos taking a little bit of a note from his book, it looks like, and he's just going to be, you know, flying through the stage, essentially. Initially, that snow clip only thought to save time in longer categories because it let us activate the loading zone to the bound bowl area much sooner. But finding a use in any percent by just going directly to that loading zone, not having to jump off the balcony.
Yeah. Allnewluke now leaving Metro Kingdom. Stravos having a bit of a tiny bonk on the side. Lots of just kind of things you can bonk on in Snow Kingdom.
Yes, indeed. That hallway in particular, not my friend when it comes to trying to get through there. Fast rolling through is not always easy. But one small bonk, not a giant problem. Now, doing this triple jump across the way here, a lot scarier than it looks, but making it look easy. Now he's going to be taking a stop by the shop and then performing Snowdram.
Yep. Allnewluke now starting off Snow Kingdom, and he also has enough coins, so he will be fine. Stravos is buying a moon from the shop and then going back to the Odyssey to do Snowdram, where he is going to be getting the War Painting Moon with a really precise jump from the top of the Odyssey.
It's amazing to think that more or less like 4 or 5 months ago, we all thought this jump to be close to impossible, and now it's just kind of a staple in everybody's run. Stravos here making it look incredibly easy.
Yeah.
Nails the jump, and he's on his way out of Snow Kingdom. Flawless execution by Stravos. The only real kind of problem I saw in his Snow Kingdom was that one bonk in the hallway. Otherwise, just flying through the stage.
Yeah, Snow Kingdom can definitely be a bit of a trickier kingdom sometimes, but making it work out. Allnewluke having a bonk on the side. Looked like he tried to go for a spin pound, but didn't quite get it. Allnewluke attempting to go for that clip, but not getting it. Having another little bonk on the side. Like I said, lots of tiny things you can bonk on in this kingdom. A lot of those slopes can redirect Mario.
Yeah,
That triple jump.
Makes traversing the hallways a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Now, Stravos showing how to get up this cliff. Probably the hardest part is Seaside, in my opinion. Seaside doesn't really have a whole lot that can trip you up, but getting up the cliff at the very beginning is not necessarily the easiest thing. It's just a very awkward platforming section. The spacing of everything doesn't really seem very natural. Trying to figure out a way to get up there without bonking on anything can be a little bit tough, but Stravos showing the optimal way to do it there. And, you know, at this pace, I am inclined to believe that Stravos is still on pace to potentially get a 101 time.
Yeah. He hasn't really made any big mistakes so far.
Yeah, with the exception of maybe missing Dram in the Snow Kingdom, but, you know, backing that up very well. So there's not a whole lot that Stravos has done wrong yet.
Stravos getting the rocket flower refresh.
Allnewluke trying to go for the triple jump there and actually taking a tumble, but able to survive. What an incredible save by Allnewluke there. So he's going to be grabbing this moon here and then attempting Snowdram himself.
Yeah, Stravos making quick work of Seaside, flying through it. Only needs 4 more quick moons, and then he'll be moving on to Luncheon Kingdom, which Luncheon definitely one of the harder kingdoms. Lots of stuff going on there.
Yeah, this is another one of those time bleed kingdoms. You can do more or less the same thing every single time, and sometimes it just you just feel like you've lost 10 seconds. And to the untrained eye, sometimes it can feel like you didn't even do anything wrong, but doing everything optimal is probably the trickiest part. Doing every jump the quickest way that you possibly can, making sure that all of your timing is just on point in Luncheon Kingdom is really what matters here.
All new Luke getting Snowdram.
Very nicely executed. First try. Gonna be happy about that. Allows him to kind of jump right into Seaside quickly here, just as Stravos is leaving, in fact.
So Stravos now heading off to Luncheon Kingdom, like we said. And hopefully he doesn't have a terrible day in Luncheon.
Right out of the gate in this kingdom, starts out very scary, going probably for this salt pile triple, which is the optimal way to get up to this first moon. So going to be boosting over here, doing a triple jump, timing the triple jump just so that it executes at the top of the salt pile, but actually not being able to get it off, the spacing not quite right there, backing it up extremely quickly though.
Yeah. Getting it still pretty quickly.
And then just taking a quick roll across the Pepto-Bismol of death, grabbing another quick moon inside this little alcove, and then on to this kind of spirit fight here. Now, the spirit fight is not necessarily required, but skipping it does require kind of a tricky set of movements, and it isn't really worth to go for. You might as well just grab the quick power moon that spirit can give you. This fight not taking an entirely long time.
Yeah.
All new Luke, not going for any Rocket Flower refresh ideas. Probably the safer option here. Just going to be looking to capture the Gushin in order to get over to his next moon that he needs.
Stravos going to grab this one moon in this sub area. All new Luke ready, halfway done at Seaside Kingdom. Once again, Seaside Kingdom, definitely one of the easier kingdoms. Kind
Yes,
of a quick kingdom.
Especially once you've got to this fish portion, not really a whole lot that can mess you up. You just kind of have to avoid the fish bonks and kind of swim along your way. Avoid some scary sea bacon, as we like to call it, I suppose. Only Luke having just a little bit of difficulty trying to grab the moon there, but makes it happen. Avoiding some more sea bacon. And Stravos here, literally flying through the stage. Luncheon Kingdom kind of bowing down to him as he makes it through this kingdom. Going to be grabbing a moon on top of this pillar with a ground pound. And he is setting himself up indeed for the camera manipulationless version of the salt pile moon over here. Able to get all the way to the salt pile island without any difficulty. Wow, actually beating the lava bubble cycle there. Very solid execution. The only way you can do that is the way that Stravos did with the roll cancel off the top of the pillar there. So very, very slick movement from Stravos here.
Yeah, well, he enters the fourth room. Very quick sub-area. Two pretty quick moons. All new Luke also heading off to Luncheon Kingdom. Stravos is about halfway done. And we are soon going to be seeing Turn-Up Clip.
Yes, now that the fourth room is done, we're just going to take this lava bubble up Now, I don't think the game really intended for that jump to be possible, but by kind of messing around with the geometry of how that Pepto-Bismol is shaped, we can kind of make our way up the cliff anyway. So Stravos grabbing this turnip and this moon, and then he's going to be launching the turnip over towards this cage. And if it's in the right place, which it doesn't look like it is right off the bat, but if it's a certain distance away, he's able to wedge the Panbro in between and get into the cage. So even though he was not able to get the kind of what we like to call Kobe turnip clip, he did back it up rather quickly and is going to be saving time over the other option, the attended method, which is breaking open the cheese rocks.
Yeah, and once again, turnip clip only being possible on 1.0.
Actually possible on 1.1
Yeah.
as well, interesting to note, but nobody really has 1.1 nowadays because it's not very accessible, not very easy to get anymore.
Yeah, it is possible on 1.1. Stravos only needs to get one more moon and then get the multi-moon, and he'll be leaving looking like a very solid luncheon, but he does have this kind of tricky part coming up right now, which he handles nicely. allnewluke just finished off Spirit. So only 3 kingdoms left. One of those being Ruined, which kind of another relaxed kingdom.
Yeah, I would not say that Ruined Kingdom appears very relaxed. There's a giant dragon throwing lightning and stuff at you, but that being said, not entirely difficult. As a speedrunner, you kind of get used to what the dragon has to throw at you, and it's the same every time, so it does give runners a little bit of a break before they approach the final kind of challenging portion of the run.
Yeah. So Stravos now leaving and heading off to Ruined. But yeah, allnewluke approaching this Crate Moon.
Yep, getting up the wall rather quickly there. Pulling out the wrong turnip, but not a big deal. Able to just set it up nicely anyways. Optimal bonk off the pot. Now, the idea here is by bonking directly underneath, you can set yourself up at the perfect distance to just like land directly on the ground after gathering the moon. A very tiny, tiny optimization, but of course, when you're at the level that these any percent runners are, every little half a second counts. So,
Yeah.
Doesn't really waste anything to go for. So you might as well have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah. Stravos starting off the dragon fight.
Yeah, like previously mentioned, nothing to really see here. Just going to be waiting for the dragon to slam his face down into the arena and then taking an intentional damage boost in order to set yourself up to hit and pull the swords immediately.
Yeah. And it's good because there are 4 hearts in this fight, so health is not a problem. So taking that little bit of damage is not bad at all.
Yeah, and one thing to note about boss fights in particular is that unlike the rest of the game, there is kind of like a flash animation when you take damage that does waste about half a second, but in boss fights that isn't the case. The action kind of resumes. allnewluke setting up the turnip clip here, actually threw the turnip off the cliff. Okay, it's going to be fine. So he's going to grab it now here. Now, interesting thing to note is that allnewluke actually didn't attempt the turnip clip in his very first race. So looking to capitalize on the optimization here. His setup looks okay. He's just going to be wedging the Panbro in. It actually slipped out of the way, so he's going to have to try it again. That one looks okay. Yes, and he's in the cage.
Meanwhile, Stravos finishing off the dragon fight, and then he'll be heading off to Bowser's. Only 2 kingdoms left for him. And Bowser's kingdom has some easy parts, some more tricky parts. But allnewluke only needs 5 more moons, and then he will be leaving luncheon.
Yes, 3 of those 5 moons being the multi-moon associated with the Twitch meet at the top of the mountain. So easy moon there. This one, however, being the tricky one, has to ground pound, gather the moon, and do a series of very complicated jumps in order to get back up the mountain, landing on that tiny little sliver of platform, making it happen, and he's going to be safely leaving Luncheon Kingdom now. Meanwhile, Stravos, flying through the game, got Bowser's Kingdom and Moon Kingdom remaining now. Bowser's Kingdom, I like Bowser's Kingdom's pace in particular. I like that it kind of hits you with a chunk of hard platforming sections, and then you get a little bit of a break in between each one.
Yeah. So, allnewluke's still between 2 and 3 minutes behind, maybe like 2.5, but definitely still has time to catch up. But like we said, Stravos only having 2 kingdoms left, the gap is closing, and allnewluke has to hope that Stravos is going to mess up a bit, and that allnewluke is going to play these last 2 kingdoms very well. Very nice. Killing the guy by Stravos.
Yep, nailing the ground pound on the ogre with a spin pound. Very quick first section of Bowser's Kingdom here. Approaching the shards portion now, which is arguably the scariest section of this kingdom.
Yeah.
Now, for this shards portion, I'm gonna roll forward first, grab this shard into a roll cancel, set yourself up for a triple jump, throw your cap, and set up a dive back. Now, that dive back is extremely tight, Stravos making that look easy. Then you make your way up to the roof, roll cancel to grab that moon, keep your speed, do a back throw, and then grab a 4th moon shard, and then reveal 1 more, just kind of chilling in that crate. He makes that section look extremely easy, but
Yeah.
I can assure you it's not at all.
Yeah, but very solid by Stravos. So Stravos moving on to the next section, where he's going to be fighting Harriet and Topper.
Yeah.
Also grabbing this moon over here, gonna be doing some Bowser Dram, which gonna hold Cappy next to the wire, and then gonna quickly grab the moon and home in.
Yeah, extremely similar to the way that we do in Metro Kingdom at the beginning of Day Metro, except this one being a lot riskier, involves a very precise dive over and on top of the roof. Of course, taking a bonk could result in dying and having to set it up again, so risky strategy, paid off for him in the end.
Stravos going for a Harriet first, and doing some first-person tricks.
Indeed. The first person, just to line yourself up in a way where you can launch the cap and fire the bombs back at Harriet as soon as she launches them, essentially. Making that look easy as well, and then he's on his way to the Topper fight.
Yeah, meanwhile, allnewluke finishing off the dragon, and then he will be moving to Bowser's as well. This Topper fight can definitely be a bit annoying sometimes if you don't jump on Topper right away. There's very specific timings where you have to do it, but they're nailing it down.
Yep, getting the quick kill there, not letting Topper really move anywhere at all. You know, Stravos really flying through here. His best race time in GSA competitions for any percent being a 101.29. He could very well be on pace to match that or even beat it. So
Yeah,
extremely solid performance by Stravos here so far.
Yeah, doing very good during this race. So Stravos will now be heading up to the Mecha Boodle fight, where Mecha Boodle can definitely be a bit tricky, but we're also going to be getting this moon behind the crates. And if you're wondering why we're getting moons, and the game doesn't tell you at first, but you do actually need 8 moons to leave the kingdom, and you get 6 already by doing the story, so you have to get 2 extra moons.
Yeah, typically how the story goes is once you enter a kingdom, it'll tell you how many moons you need to leave. But I think this game is trying to debate you a little bit into believing that this is the last kingdom that you need to go. So it doesn't give you a moon count. It's just like telling you complete the story. Yeah, that's all you need to do. That's fine. You'll be done then, right? Haha. Just kidding. We're going to the moon, and also you need 2 more moons on top of that. So, of course, if you know that ahead of time, you can collect those 2 moons along the way. So
Yeah.
that's what we do in speedrunning. Of course, it doesn't make sense to wait till the end to collect those moons if you already need them.
Yeah, those 2 moons that Stravos got are the 2 fastest moons. And here we go, seeing some fast mech getting the first 2 bubbles very quickly. Now we're gonna have to wait for the mech to run around for a bit, and then gonna get these last 2 bubbles. allnewluke having a bit of trouble with shards. Like we said, shards can definitely be very tricky sometimes. Stravos did do shards well, but allnewluke looks to be having a little bit of trouble. Stravos finishing off Mecha Boodle.
Target acquired.
Nice. But yeah, Stravos will now be leaving. Bowser's heading off to Moon Kingdom. allnewluke getting 2nd story moon. So only 1 kingdom left. Looking like a win for Stravos so far, unless Stravos really messes up something big, like Mooncave Skip. He should have the win on this.
Yep. Still anybody's game. You just never know. I believe in Stravos' abilities, but it is probably going to take a little bit of a miracle for allnewluke to catch up at this point. That being said, Moon Kingdom can be a scary place to be. Not so much that the tech itself is very difficult to do, but you do have a couple of big hazards in Moon Kingdom, specifically allnewluke. Is he going for Topper first? No, he is not, he says. He's not part of the Topper first gang. Giving it a look and immediately rejecting the idea, going over to Harriet. He's a smart man, saving 20 minutes by doing this, by the way. Jokes aside, though, Harriet first, Topper first does not actually matter in the grand scheme of things. It's all down to personal preference. I think that going for Topper first is kind of the idea that people might have if they think they're going to take damage in Topper. So you can use the checkpoint flag that's nearby to heal yourself in between fights to save the time that it would take to essentially have to heal after gathering the moon. So
allnewluke having a bit of trouble with that last phase, but managed to make it work. Stravos now in Moon Kingdom. And in this game, if you're traveling at like a 45-degree angle, you actually get more distance. So that is what Stravos is going to be doing here. You're going to be doing a triple jump right off the edge, turning at an angle to get lots of distance to cross this huge gap.
Yeah, he looked like he made it far enough to not even need the dive, but just took it to be safe.
Got a lot of distance out of that. And Stravos now coming up to Moon Cave Skip, which is going to skip the whole Moon Cave. Skips several minutes. Definitely the biggest skip in the game. Where we're going to be jumping off of the Sphinx's head and wall jumping on a precise spot to be able to wall jump again. And it looks pretty simple, but the first wall jump, where you wall jump that first time, determines if you can try to wall jump the second time, because the game tries to prevent you from doing that, but by wall jumping on that specific point, you can manage to wall jump again.
Yeah, the game doesn't really like to let you jump off of walls that are in the same kind of direction as each other. Otherwise, you could just gain maximum height forever on the same wall. So by finding a particular spot on that wall, we kind of manipulate the game's geometry and are able to make that jump happen.
Yeah, Stravos entering the Bowser fight.
Yeah, going into first person just to kind of look Bowser in the face for a hot minute. Now, Bowser, the only difference between this fight and the Cloud fight is this section where he is throwing flame at you.
Yeah.
Aside from that, same mechanic here. Actually missing the second phase entirely. I'm not sure what happened there. I've never really seen that happen. Usually, by getting yourself on top of that white hat and throwing Cappy forward, you're able to grab the cap immediately, but it looked like he missed, and I've never actually seen that before.
Me neither, really. All new Luke. Doing Mecha Boodle so far, getting those first 2 bubbles. And Stravos just has this last phase to do in the Bowser fight, and then he'll be in the escape sequence. And looking on pace for a 101 so far.
Yeah, we could be seeing a high 101 here.
And all new Luke.
Target acquired.
That spin pound, yep.
Typically, target acquired, aka Harry at third, is the strategy that's used at like the very top level. That last hit can be a little bit intimidating. If you miss it, of course, it is a ground pound directly onto the floor of the arena. So setting up for something like that does optimize, does save about 1.5 seconds over the other way, but risky strat indeed. All new Luke making it look easy. On his way to the Moon Kingdom now as Stravos approaches the escape sequence here.
Yep. And we most likely will be seeing 2D skip.
I would be surprised if Stravos does not go for an idea like that. Breaking open these blocks here, setting himself up.
And ooh, he did bunk his head there, but managed to get back on the block.
Yeah, not the scariest thing to happen in the 2D skip there, because you just land right back on the block and try again. Making it past there just fine, throwing these fireballs, and going to be approaching the final room, the pillar room here, breaking open this final block. So definitely looking like Stravos can finish with a high 101 here.
Yeah. All new Luke leaving Bowser's into Moon, but unless Stravos messes up this escape sequence like a couple of times, looking like a win for Stravos.
Yeah, it's going to be a little too late from All New Luke here, I think.
Yeah. And Stravos looking like gonna end with a high 101, and he did shoot 1 extra fireball at that first pillar.
He was able to snipe it.
Yeah.
All right. So trying his best to get in under 101 here, getting the fireballs in just in time on this final platform now, swiping away. It's going to come down to the wire, but I think that Stravos is going to be able to pull out a high 101 time with this.
Yeah. Definitely a very solid time during a race. And ending with a 101.52.
Extremely nice performance from Stravos. 101.52 in a race. Very well done. Again, like, not really much that we could say about Stravos' game. There wasn't any huge slip-ups that I noticed. Just a couple of minor things. You know, missing Sand Dram, for one, is all I can really think of. Got Snow Dram on the first try. Got all of his clips flawlessly. There was really nothing that you could say about Stravos' game that would have cost him here. And it's, it's hard to keep up with a pace like that.
Yeah, but managed to do it. Very solid and clean run. All new Luke heading up to the Bowser fight. All new Luke looking like probably gonna finish with a 105, 106.
Yep, looking like he might be coming in just under 107, in fact. And now in the call with us, joining us is the winner of this match, Stravos. Stravos, how do you feel about that match? It was a very solid performance.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think I'd do this well since I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately. In fact, I haven't even played Odyssey since my last race 5 days ago.
Oh, wow.
So I had to cram a little bit to make sure I didn't embarrass myself right before this race. But yeah, my muscle memory just came back to me, and for the most part, did quite well.
I would say so. We were just mentioning that there wasn't really much that I could see on the surface that really caused huge like time losses or anything. I think the only thing being maybe a missed sand dram, but aside from that, very solid performance.
Yeah, lots of little things everywhere. I think there was no kingdom that was perfect, except Cap. Cap, I had a 220 just barely, but I mean, I don't know if Dansta's still here. He will. He's not gonna call that perfect.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Other than Cap, I think every kingdom was kind of riddled with small mistakes, but nothing major, so I didn't get punished too much.
Yeah, indeed. A very solid performance. And with that, you will be moving on into the winner's bracket round 3, where I think you will be facing off against Dansta in the next round.
Yeah, and that'll be a scary race for me, honestly. I'm a little scared of Dansta. I don't know. That interests me.
He has been climbing the ranks like very quickly lately. So I think that should be a very exciting race. So best of luck to you, Stravos. We will get allnewluke in here for an interview as he finishes up. I would just like to remind all of you guys that if you like what you see, make sure you drop a follow to the channel, twitch.tv/speedrun. Also, this tournament sponsored by Vi.gg. If you would like to place bets on any of the races in the upcoming tournament, as well as any of the other tournaments hosted by GSA, you can do so by typing !bet in the chat or by going to their website and clicking the banner underneath the stream. Of course, you must be of legal gambling age as well as in a legal gambling country in order to participate in that. Of course, just your support watching is good as well. Dropping a follow to both of these racers. Make sure you follow Stravos on Twitch as well. He streams runs on a regular basis, I would say. Yeah, he is playing Call of Duty lately, I suppose, but everyone's got to unwind from the races every now and then.
Allnewluke finishing off this escape sequence, looking to end with a mid 106. Still definitely a good time.
Yeah, no complaints here. Definitely a good time to finish with. Did get that early pillar, so just has to finish breaking it in order to get to the center area. He's going to be swiping away now. And just like that, entering the wire, shooting out at a time of, you're going to see it appear here, 106.42. Not bad at all. And just like that, we have allnewluke in the call with us for a little post-interview. allnewluke, how do you feel?
Horrible. I was a minute and 30 behind after lost.
Yeah, I mean, you did have a little bit of a rough go in Wooded Kingdom specifically. So what was going through your head?
Well, I got tilted a bit, but after lost, I was fine. I actually saved 30 seconds from lost to moon.
Actually, I did notice that. I felt like the game performance after lost, taking that death, unfortunately, after the triple jump to the cage. After that, everything started to really smooth out. Metro Kingdom was really nice. I thought that Snow Kingdom looked really solid. You got Snowdram on the first try. So the game was really clean after that, but Stravos running away with this one, unfortunately, just keeping it solid all the way through. And that was the difference here.
Yeah, Strav did really good. 101.52.
Yeah, extremely solid for a race time. as well as just a time in general. So that being said, you may be down, but not entirely out. You will be moving on to the losers bracket, where you will get another fighting chance at staying in this tournament. So best of luck to you in your future matches.
Thanks.
And coming up after this race, we have another Super Mario Odyssey Round 2 winners bracket match coming your way. This one between Suisaiga and Tylotech. So be sure to stick around, stay tuned, and we will see you after a short intermission.